Agat Yom Tif, Agat Yor, Lashana Teva, Belima Dachsidis, Ubadarki Achsidis, Tikosevu, Vasechosemu, to everyone who's watching this video, happy Yud Tes Kislev. I promised that I'm dropping a Yud Tes Kislev special, and so here I am, shooting this very, very special for Yud Tes Kislev. So we'll start with a little milf of the b'dicha, so something a little light, just to open the mind and open the heart. Here is portrait. Let's see, we're getting the big shadow in here. Why is that? Let's see. The portrait of the Alter Rebbe that I began when I was about 15, 16 years old. And it's not quite finished yet, but just wanted to show you that. Proud of that. And then my precious Talmud, Levi Yitzchak Levinson, who's a wicked artist, did this for me, which is just absolutely spectacular. Let me turn this light off. So, just a little bit of art, a little bit of creative expression right there. So here's what I really want to share with you all today. For as long as I know myself, I've had a unique passion and spark in me for Yud Tes Kislev. You can call it a Yud Tes Kislev bug. Chag HaGeulah, the Alter Rebbe, the Baal Yeshua, Yud Tes Kislev. And that bug would express itself in just kind of fanatically Farbrenging. When I was in yeshiva, I was involved in the fundraising for the Farbrenging and in throwing a lavish meal, buying plenty good mashke, plenty good food, nice paper goods, nice tablecloths, really just creating the most lavish, festive situation possible. And that just continued on over the years. Every single year on the third night of Yud Tes Kislev, there's a Hiroch and Erev Farbrenging 3 nights in a row. Every single year on the third night of Yud Tes Kislev, I have a Farbrenging in my house, Baruch Hashem. People come, we eat, we drink, we celebrate, we love, we Farbring. And sometimes there'll be 2 Farbrengings in my house. And this stuff costs money. Farbrengings cost money, and I don't even care. I have the money, I don't have the money, I don't care. To me, it's just like just some kind of passion that I have, that just go spend the money, build the Alter Rebbe, throw a Farbrenging, throw a party, invite people. This year, as a matter of fact, my wife and I got a response from the Rebbe in Igros Kodesh about Farbrenging Yud Tes Kislev. We brought down for the women a guest speaker last night, Sunday night, and threw a whole big event for some people, some women to come celebrate Yud Tes Kislev. And this is just how I know myself, that Yud Tes Kislev comes and I just go into this space of like nothing matters other than to party, to celebrate, to be festive, to be merry, sail l'chaim, eat beef, and celebrate the Alter Rebbe, celebrate the Chag HaGeulah that he had. And I could never really fully explain this. I could never really fully explain, why do I have this passion? I don't consider myself one who was a big masculine chassidus. As a matter of fact, I feel like I understand very little chassidus. And I could never really fully understand or explain, which are 2 sides of one coin, what is this big passion that I have? What is this big love that I have? What is this spark? What is this energy? And yet I followed it anyway, year after year, and I continue to. I just follow it. I follow it. Spend the money, go out of my way, push myself, advertise, drag people in, as if this is a cause that I could explain why I'm passionate about it or committed to, as if this is something that I can really stand behind and convince someone, and it's not. If you ask me why, the answer is I don't know. I have no idea. There's this phenomenon where so often we come to Farbrengings and people say, well, what is Yud Tes Kislev? What is Yud Tes Kislev all about? Well, how is it relevant? How is it meaningful? What does it mean to us? And all kinds of explanations come, all kinds of conceptual constructs, all kinds of reasons, all kinds of philosophies, and good sounding stuff. And to be honest, I never really got most of it and never really fully appreciated most of it. And so here's my message. Here's what I want to share. I'd like to invite you to consider the possibility that Yud Tes Kislev is about celebrating the Alter Rebbe's Chag HaGeulah, participating in a party, showing up somewhere, saying a l'chaim, washing, having a good festive meal, eating beef, for no reason. Now, what do I mean by that? Here's what I mean. Most of our lives, we live burdened and restricted and constricted by linear thinking and logic. We all have an ego, a sense of self, a personality structure. And this ego, and this sense of self, and this personality structure has one primary concern. And this primary concern is called being right or looking good. And therefore, because its primary concern is being right, it must win the argument. And because it must win the argument, there must always be an argument to be made. An argument is made out of logic. An argument is made out of reason. An argument is made out of rationale. An argument is made out of linear thought. And this is how most of our lives go. This is how our most of our lives is governed. It's governed by this ego structure, by this personality structure, whose primary concern is being right, being validated, being vindicated, and that usually comes from a winning argument, either from winning an actual argument or from the perception within our own minds that we could win the argument if we had to, which is always a function of having some kind of linear logic or some kind of thought pattern set up, ready to fire in order to win, in order to be right. And it's that entire paradigm that compels us to have a reason for why we're inspired, passionate, or interested in something. You see, I am ready to wager that every single person watching this video, somewhere inside of them, has some kind of Yud Tes Kislev spark or tickle. Somewhere inside of you, if you were to suspend your logic, if you were to suspend your thought world for a minute, if you were to suspend having to be right, if even to your own self and your own perception, if you were to suspend the ordinary structures that you usually live inside of and that govern your decision-making process in your world, every single person watching this video, if I had to bet on it, I would bet on it, has something in there that's like, it's Yud Tes Kislev today, you know, like this is a cool time. This is a nice time. This is a good thing. Why don't I, go celebrate? But what happens is immediately, linear logic, the thinking mind, the ego structure, the concern about being right and winning the argument comes to bear and says, why? Why do you care about Yud Tes Kislev? Why is that important to you? You're a big chassid. You get chassidus. You ever met the Alter Rebbe or heard anything meaningful from the Alter Rebbe? He's relevant to you in your life. What? So this is just an institutional thing that you just go follow the masses? There is a 1,001 intellectual, I wouldn't call them intellectual, I'd call them logical, and I don't even really know how logical they are, but 1,001 kind of arguments that could be made within the thought world, within linear logic, to override that small still voice inside of you, that reasonless spark inside of you, that just kind of knows on some level or feels like Yud Tes Kislev is a good thing, and it's for me somehow. And it's a great time to celebrate and a good reason to celebrate, and something will come out of it. Whatever needs to come out of it will come out of it, or could come out of it, just to come some kind of a random kind of openness to it. So this is what I want to offer you. What if Yud Tes Kislev is not about anything else other than honoring that spark? That's the possibility that I want to invite you into. That is what Yud Tes Kislev has been for me. Yud Tes Kislev has been for me a time to celebrate and to honor that which is not linear, that which is not logical, that which is not rational, that which is not about winning an argument or being right, that which is not able to be justified intellectually. Rather, just because I feel some kind of connection, just because I'm inspired, just because somehow, maybe on some subliminal or meta level, there's some kind of resonance or some kind of knowing or some kind of interest. To me, that's what this Kislev has been all about. Throw a party, spend money, eat beef, drink mashke, Farbrenging, wear a kapota, don't say tachlon. I don't care. I don't know. Go with it. Run with it. Trust it. So my invitation to you is, what if that's what this Kislev is all about? Sure, there's explanations and there's ideas and there's sichas and there's all kinds of stuff, and that's great. If you're able to get that and that's meaningful to you and that resonates, beautiful, enjoy those. But what if this Kislev doesn't need any of that? What if you considered and opened yourself up to Yud Tes Kislev being nothing other than a celebration and an honoring of some still small sound in you, some kol d'mamadaka, some visceral, experiential, intuitive knowing that there's something here to be celebrated, some experience here to be had. Can't explain it, don't have to explain it, can't win any argument around it, can't even convince myself. It's just a feeling, just an interest, just an inspiration, just a tickle. And it doesn't have to be consistent with any other aspect of my life, because inconsistency is only an intellectual problem. It's not an experiential one. In the direct experience of something, this is what it is. If you're interested in something, you're interested in something. It's only the intellectual mind that comes to bear on it. It says, well, how could you be interested in that if you're not interested in that? That's incompatible. That's inconsistent. So I want to invite you into this world, into this non-linear possibility, into this possibility of celebrating Yud Tes Kislev for no reason, into this possibility of just honoring, just celebrating and observing Yud Tes Kislev as an expression of honoring your deep inner knowing, your little neshama that knows and says, I don't know, it's a good thing. I should party, I should celebrate. There's something there, without being able to explain it, without being able to justify it, let alone to someone else, and not even to yourself. What if that's Yud Tes Kislev? And you know what? Maybe, I don't know, but maybe that's actually the essence of Chassidus. Maybe that's actually the essence of Pnimis HaTorah. To penetrate past all of the logic, all the linear structures, and reach that spark in you, that divine spot that can't necessarily be articulated in language at all, let alone into linear structures or logical thinking or winning an argument or anything like that. What if that's really the essence? What if that's really what it is about? I don't know. I just offer that to you as an inquiry. So my invitation is that no matter what, practice Yud Tes Kislev, celebrate it as a non-linear possibility, for no reason, with no explanation, just as an expression of honoring that spark in you, that still small sound, that feels or knows or suspects or wonders if there's something there for you to celebrate. Honor it, give it voice, celebrate, go with it. That alone is a profound freedom. And after all, Yud Tes Kislev is the Chag HaGeulah, the holiday of redemption and freedom. So my invitation to you, go celebrate Yud Tes Kislev. Why? For no reason. maybe that's freedom. I love you all. Thank you for receiving me and receiving this. Because of this passion that I've been honoring for all of these years of throwing a Yud Tes Kislev bash, of Farbrenging Yud Tes Kislev, of drumming the Yud Tes Kislev drum. When my wife asked my daughter this year, what are her highlights of Kislev? This is what she drew. Hanukkah is one. My birthday is one. The winter, the snow is one, and this one. Tati's, what does it say here? Tati's Yud Tes Kislev Farbrenging. Isn't that special? So somehow the bug has been transmitted, Baruch Hashem, to her. So welcome to a non-linear possibility. Welcome to a celebration for no reason. And welcome to the inquiry. If perhaps that is freedom, and that is Geula, and that is the secret of it all. I love you. With the Yom Tif. I look forward to celebrating with you wherever you are. With you, without you, I'm on the path with you. L'chaim, l'chaim.